Come on with it. Once I bring it to you, you won't be safe nowhere.
More levels, more devils. Diesel, airing out the stage like a Neville. Brother, leave you. Dot on your face for no good reason at all. We in a bad place. Hop, hop. Hip hop is separated by the nice and the nice not. Underground and I'm ice hot. What rap my age to keep the mic hot? Hot, hot. Couple hip hop butter beans. Big sluggers move with me, it's a gutter team. I love women who love, who know the boom from the back. OG still could fill a room when he rap. Mike Blessing in a recession is food giving back to occupy labels that move didn't wax now. Here come Bumpy on a primo track to represent hip hop from where we go back. Crack.
Come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it, cause you know what we got to do. Come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it. Once I bring it to you, you won't be safe. No,
I let the beat keep breathing while I spit life to you heathens. You in the wrong place, to be real. Reasons. I usually don't spit corny styles like that cause I'm too seasoned. How you sending links trying to get on you stink. MCs don't give a what you think. Rapping if it's beef, I hit a brinks and put that kind of paper on your head to make a lot of blink. Now think, when you rather keep it music than to lose it all cause of music. I'm sure that's not how Bambaataa wanted us to use it. Now move it before I lose it. And I'm in it for the long haul. Bars, like life is in a long haul. Bar, my life rocking mics, I raised the bar. Phased them, dazed them, and blazed them all. Scar,
come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it, cause you know what we got to do. Come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there.
Word up.
Come on with it. Crazy. Once I bring it to you, you won't be safe nowhere.
Real cinema, the feature's a top feature. Whose favorite MC is the Bronx teacher? Flows long around hooks so the words reach you. Joe Jackson on you, mic up, beat you. Now beat it before I pull his Tito. In your ego, it's front page news, read it. My style is the barker over beats like Travis, I bark 'em. Spark 'em, overwritten flows like overflowing toilet bowls. The game is a mess. Beef ain't really over with. The only way for me to get over it is to aim at your chest. I rock with a DJ who sets the tone. Plugs in 212s and a microphone. And I don't stop rocking the beats and keep rocking. As long as the streets hear heat, they keep copping. Popping.
Come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it, cause you know what we got to do. Come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it. Once I bring it to you, you won't be safe nowhere.
Word up. Salute to hip hop, MCs and DJs. Culture strong as ever. Bumpy Knuckles, DJ Premier. Salute, salute.
Tragedy in, got me a chain, your salary spent. Just sweeping the cavities in, counting money, hourly trend. Let them see like Olsen twins. Squares, cabinet bins, neck full of gold Olympian. Demons don't blow in the check on the gear. Corners, then hop on the leer. Strap up them poppers and to the rear. Sock bust head, them is here. Walk up early this morning. Mine is telling me money. Paper, moolah. Pockets as fat as a tumor. Me in the no rumor. Living my life off a tuna. Want it with me, I deliver the beef. Ribs only enjoying the feast. Pull up a seat, bon appetit. No Louboutins when they're red on your sleeve. Bang, bang, bang.
I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay out with Jamaican. From different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Photographs of dope boys. It's all they taking, fingerprints on a Rolls Royce. It's why they hating, push a button on his broke boys. That's detonation, walk the road to riches bare feet. I watch mama struggle, now she living carefree. That's why I hustle for that half a that's 12 G's. I'm trying to bubble every summer 100 LP. You gotta love me, I got shooters out the D-League. Signing bone and hit that man, that's from 30 feet. Left in the puddle, fingerprints is on 100 mil. That's what it is. Ricky Rose saying they should. We have a trip. Yeah.
I come looking for you with
What you know about this?
I stay out with Jamaican.
We the best. Double M. 100 M's.
You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Hey, yo, let me get next.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I would get it otherwise without the luxury of leaving. The touch and feeling of free is untangible. Technically, it's something you got to believe in. Connect the cause and the fact. One foot in front of the next. This is the start of a journey. And my mind is already gone in the fear of the unknown. Somehow this doesn't concern me. You can stand right there if you want, but I'm going on. And I'm prepared to go it alone. I'm going on to a place in the sun that's nice and warm. I'm going on, and I'm
Rematch,
sure
bitch.
that I'll have a place for you to. Anyone that needs what they want and doesn't want what they need, I want nothing to do with. And to do what I want and to do what I please is first on my to-do list. But every once in a while I think about her smile, one of the few things I do miss. But baby, I got to go, baby, I got to know, baby, I got to prove it. And I'll see you when you get there, but I'm going on. And I'm prepared to go it alone. I'm going on.
walks in the parks, I ain't come to play games, I just wanna play my cards. Tell your girlfriend to come talk with my dog. We straight G's and we came hit a ball. Bottle at the bottle, when I'm sure you count them all. Then we off to that Chevy and taking off. Baby, slow it down, cause you're moving too fast. Yeah, too fine to be moving too fast. Back to the thuggin', now I'm loving. Baby, that's my whistle. Sack for the jeans, 5 bones for the 2800 for the. I'm the biggest boss that you seen thus far. You can tell by the stones that's standing by the car.
Got a fresh line up, yeah, fresh outfit, but the head of parking lot don't smash. Plus I got a Chevy with a coat in the got 125 on the dash.
I'm the biggest boss that you seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you seen thus far.
the six. And you shouldn't know these rappers, man. They say anything. Call me Susie Piggy Bank. I got plenty change. She rep HBK, they over everything. Married to the game with the wedding rag. Everybody try to do my cake. We just innovate. Young and making plenty cake. Get my straight. I'm a heartbreak vet. Being broke, what I can't accept. I'ma hold it down to the depth. No Reeboks, cause it's all about a check. Bet $1 million that your man ain't like this. Cause I stack my chips. I'm on my grind. Mind on money, money on my mind. So if you in the way, I'll run you off. It's the heartbreak army, I'm a soldier. Huh? Wherever I go, I'm always coming to. I love
gym, the sweat ran off my skin. They thought I ran out of breath, but I was just catching my wind. That only happens to them. I gotta capture my win. I practice 31 days a month and I practice again. Was born equipped with sportsmanship, so I just laugh and I grin. Victory is my objective, I don't have to pretend. Spread my wings like an eagle and let them flap in the wind. No guns, no glory, no pain, no gain. These are actions of men. My teammate is a warrior, got my back to the end. My offense is God sent. You gon' have to defend. My crossover is vicious, I got more swagger than him. Hit the bottom of the net or the back of the rim. The style is a flavor foul. You score 'em and take it down. All of your trash talking was pointless. Say it now, you slacking in goaltending. My actions are bone chilling. Got the home court advantage. I'm back on the road winning. Road winning.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come
Gotta
from.
hold a city down anyhow. They gon' have to really bow. Totally dominate the game in front of any crowd. I keep it 100 while you only keep it 50 thou. I can conquer any style. Victory is in me now. My time is now. Who said it was later? It comes natural. I got a competitive nature. Look at them guys when I'm coming. They be hiding, I'm hunting. Luckily they've been ducking me. You see lots of them running. Challenges, I embarrass them. They a dime in a dozen. Full of fire, just like a dragon straight out of the dungeon. I'm just rising above it. You just lied to the public. I serve a purpose. You nervous with butterflies in your stomach. Don't try to intimidate me. You couldn't scare me with lip. I'm spontaneous, smart, dangerous, fancy and quick. My trainer told me to work. He ain't prepared me to quit. I'm the only captain who's sailing this championship.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
straight jump from SoCal, Hollywood to the slums. Get burnt.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And on tap tonight, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Toronto Raptors. For the Raptors, 6 wins in their last 10 games. They'd like to play even better. Tonight, a chance to add to their win total. And if you've been watching this team play lately, you know who they've been getting the big baskets from? Freak! He's been on a tear. How's he gotten so hot, Shaq?
Well, you know, he's letting the game come to him on the offensive end. He's not forcing a shot, but he's still being aggressive, and he always testing his defender. And he's, you know what, Ernie? He smells that barbecue chicken down there. You can't guard this man one-on-one.
Well,
lick your fingers. The barbecue chicken is hot and crispy.
You're making me hungry right now. But
Crispy barbecue chicken?
oof, that's I just can't believe it. Making me hungry. Is it lunchtime now? We got it some time. But, you know, he's not settling for any look either. This guy is very versatile. He'll take you inside, take you outside. He's the kind of player that seems like he's a step ahead, like mentally. Like he has this mental telepathy that goes on and goes. He knows what you're thinking before you think it, before the guy thought it was a thought.
Wow. It's like an extraordinary basketball IQ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a high basketball IQ, Shaq?
No, didn't need one, Ernie,
Why?
because I had the ES.
What's that?
Elbow sandwiches.
Now I'm really hungry.
Elbow sandwiches
Let's
right
get
in
it
your
down
mouth.
to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner.
Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Raptors in this one. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Timberwolves again playing host, continuing their homestand in this one, winning their last 3 games. They'd like to make that 4 in a row here tonight.
And to say these guys are hot right now would be putting it mildly. They've come into this game playing arguably the best basketball of anybody in the league.
Yeah, Greg, it's been a big-time winning streak. I mean, many of the games haven't even been close during the streak. Needless to say, they're coming into every game now with great confidence and swagger.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Terrence Ross is out there with Freak, and it's Valanciunas in at the 5 down low. Here's Towns. And Gobert kicks to Levine. 2 on the clock. Off target from three-point range. And here are the Raptors now. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
And given their performance in that game, which was not necessarily a work of art, I had a hard time believing it wound up being as close as it did.
And, you know, as it came down the stretch, Greg, I was thinking, how is this still a game? I mean, how is this still close? And you got the sense that it was never going to be their night.
Here's Wiggins following the basket by Freak. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Lowry passes to Freak. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. You often hear athletes saying they do it for the fans, but with Freak, he really backs up his talk with his actions. And Clark, I've seen it firsthand. He's one of the more accessible and interactive NBA stars out there.
Yeah, I say he's walking the talk in that regard. I mean, he really looks out for his fans, appreciates them, respects them, understands them, engages with them. I think he's one of a kind in being sincere and genuine and looking after the fans.
And he knocks down the first one. And both free throws good from Freak. Here's Minnesota. 4-point game. Last time they came together was in Toronto, where they fell to the Raptors.
In the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
Yeah, that's a good call, Greg. I mean, there was a little bit of a letdown for them in OT, and that can happen after you expend so much energy just to force the overtime.
So it's Minnesota now, following the miss by Freak. The drive by Gobert. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. The Timberwolves shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
Their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year.
And here is Joseph. He feeds it to Freak. And yes, sir, that one drops. Freak's got 8 points.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Well, offensively at least, partner. I mean, neither team's done jack diddly on D.
A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Timberwolves lead by 4. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And a chance to hear from point guard Kyle Lowry about the chemistry of this Raptors team. They're all pulling in the same direction.
We got a group of guys who came in and bought into the offensive system, the defensive system, and it just clicked. And we got a bunch of guys in here who only want to see each other be successful, and it's rare in this league to have a team like that.
The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
You could argue it both ways, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. I mean, teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings, and so have tight-knit groups who were really close. So there's really no magic formula. I think there's a little bit of art to go with the science in that.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And let's quickly break down the game we're watching with the Timberwolves, guys.
And it's really about limiting their mistakes. And early on, they've been able to do that here in the first.
And, guys, I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways, and that's allowed them to widen that turnover margin.
Withy is out there with Jang. Then it's Andrew Wiggins, and it's Jeter in at the 2. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Magic delivered quite a performance. He had 21 points and added 3 rebounds as well. A truly dominating game from him in what was hopefully a sign of things to come. At least that's how the franchise is thinking, guys.
All right, Doris. Well, guys, coming off a performance like that has got to have him supremely confident right now.
No doubt. I guarantee he comes into today's game feeling there isn't anything he can't do on the floor right now.
I'll tell you what, Greg, I think he might be right based on that last game. I'm inclined to agree with him. He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points. Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's Levine. He had 16 points in the win against Utah.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
Shot clock at 3. Fires for 3. Powell pulls it in. Raptors trail by 3. Here's Joseph. The rebound by Withey.
Hey, I like creativity in a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
To the wing on the left. And Zhang kicks to Withey. And he finishes with the dunk.
Man, that's an explosive move to the rim right there. Teammates are just loving that.
They sure are, GA. He was soaring through the air.
Boy, I love the fact he's not backing down. Just, here I come, try and stop me. I love that kind of edge. Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Here's Levine. He's got 6. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throw.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Timberwolves.
They've set the first half tone by getting out on the fast break and getting the defenders on their heels.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Looking at the clock runs out and we're heading to halftime. The Timberwolves on top, up by 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin and Dwayne. A very tight game here. What's the #1 thing you need to do in the second half to try to get out ahead and break this thing open?
Well, #1 is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
Okay, guys, let's talk about that first half. We've given this crowd way too much to cheer about. The second half is going to be played on our terms. You got me? Very nice offensive first half from the reserves. You guys had a big impact. We'll be coming back to you in the second half. That's enough of the positivity. I'm not going to harp on the negatives, but you and I both know there are places where we can improve. And let's not lean too much on the fast break in the second half. Get things set up when we can. The points will come fast enough. Don't worry. And that's all I wanted to go over with you. Let's go play a good half of basketball.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be important to see if they can slow him down in the second half, because so far they have not had anybody that can disrupt his rhythm down low.
Well, how about guys mixing up the looks? I mean, bump him out a little bit, front him, double him, anything to try to get him off his rhythm.
And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. DeRozan at the 2 with Ross playing the 3. Freak is out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Lowry in at the 1 spot. Here's Ross. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Minnesota leading by 7. Dinwiddie dishes to Wiggins. And Gobert kicks to Levine. Pass to Wiggins. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Now Freak. 14 points for him.
You know, guys, if he does his work early, he knows when he gets in a good position, his size gives him a big edge on the glass.
Dinwiddie kicks to Towns, and he gets it to go. Towns has got his team on the board first here in the second half of the Timberwolves. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin. That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
To the inside. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And now an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Lowry kicks to Ross. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. And it's 7 points now for Terrence Ross. Here's Dinwiddie. Lowry covering. Inside. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And that's now 9 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Raptors trail by 10. Lowry passes to DeRozan to the middle. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Here's Levine. 6 points for him. Gobert with a screen on DeRozan. Levine kicks to Wiggins. It's tipped. Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Towns. And Toronto also making a switch. Powell, he's checked in for Terrence Ross. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Shot clock at 2. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
What a stellar outing in this one for Freak. He has 14 points and a pretty good rebounding performance from him also.
And Clark, he's been terrific in terms of his positioning and boxing out very well also. Just battling hard on every possession.
And the Raptors making a change here. Splitters checked in. Wiggins outside. He kicks it to Levine. Chang a screen. Back to Wiggins. Fires from deep. And it's Lowry with the rebound.
One made 3 formed for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. Minnesota with the rebound. Gobert's got 7 rebounds in the game. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Kyle Lowry picks one up there. The Timberwolves have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts. First one falls for Andrew Bogut. He's checked in for Minnesota. And then for Toronto, Jonas Valanciunas. He's checked in for Splitter. And it's Joseph in for Powell. Bogut banked in off the glass. Bogut's got his second bucket of the night.
Letting a guy sneak by for a putback off a free throw, that is inexcusable.
Stolen by Levine. And the layup falls. Levine's got the lead up to 11 now for Minnesota.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those in this game.
We got to be more physical on defense. They are getting to the middle of the floor way too easy. Get into them on the perimeter. Posts. Rotate over and make your presence felt. Quit being so soft.
And who doesn't love stats? Here are some numbers for DeRozan. Averaging 17 points per game, 4 assists and 3 rebounds. And he's been... I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Yeah, and anytime this club needs a bucket, he's their go-to. Just irrepressible and a prolific scorer.
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third.
You got it. Let's get the ball inside.
Screened by Valanciunas. Lowry dishes to Freak. Nice D from Bogut.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Left side, DeRozan. Here's Freak. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
1:52 left in the third. Here's Levine. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. For the past 10 games, these teams have been fantastic on rebounding. The Timberwolves second.
What a show of strength in terms of rebounding. I mean, they've really controlled the glass here of late, playing with some extreme physicality.
And the first one at the line is good. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Raptors trail by 12. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. The dish now to Freak. It's hauled in by Bogut. Bogut's got 5 rebounds tonight. And it's blocked. They recover it, and they'll keep possession. Wiggins kicks to Bogut, and he gets it to go. Bogut's got 6.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
And that one's good. Free. 1:02 left to play in the third. Dinwiddie kicks to Wiggins. There's a screen. Pass to Levine. Back to Wiggins. Timberwolves passing it around. No good from Bogut.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Withy's checked in. Raptors also changing it up. Biyombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Joseph. 27 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's the screen. Here's Levine. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists now in this one. Raptors trail by 12. To the inside. It's tipped. It's stolen by Bogut. Here's Dinwiddie. Lowry covering. Dinwiddie passes to Withy. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Withy's got the lead up to 14 now for the Timberwolves. Lowry. The shot is off. Well, through 3 quarters. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Wiggins outside at the 3 with Anthony Towns at the 4. And it's Rudy Gobert, and it's Levine in at the 2 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Towns with the steal. Wiggins dishes to Gobert. Here's Levine. DeRozan defending. Here's Towns. That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Timberwolves.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding on to that, if you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
And here are the Raptors now. They trail by 16. Right side Lowry. Here's Biyombo. Gobert with the block.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no line in those totals.
Levine kicks to Gobert. The pass to Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. 13 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Stolen by Levine. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Wiggins drives in. And there's the defensive 3-second call.
Shooting one. Karl Anthony.
And he shows the focus there. Nails the technical. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Bismack Biyombo.
Timeout call. Okay, fans, put your hands together for your Timberwolves dancers.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Levine kicks to Dinwiddie. 5 on the clock. The stupendous finish in traffic. Towns has got 7 now in this quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
He doesn't get the second one. Here's Minnesota. 11 unanswered points for him. It's Jones on the wing. Guarded by Wright. Oh, that's blocked. 4-on-3 break. Freak kicks to Wright. Passes it to Powell. Got a piece of it. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here. With he's checked in for Gobert. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. And that one's good. Right. Jones with it. They set the pick. He dishes it to Withy. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Plain one-hand flush. I love it.
Clark, I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Yeah, the one hand lets you get up higher.
No doubt about it. At least it looks like that from this angle.
And it's Freak missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Down low. Here's Withy. It's blocked.
Move it. Move it.
Fast break Toronto. Jennings is running. The dive for the ball. Now here's Freak. Tight defense on him. It's deflected. Splitter. That's good. And so it's Minnesota with it. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. Now here's Jones. Here's Towns. The layup missed. Here's Powell. Defended by Jones. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
We've seen a lot of silly plays like that out of them today. Just way too many.
Andrew Bogut checked in for Minnesota. Ross is checked in for Toronto. .149 left in the game. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Bogut the pass to Jones. Withy kicks to Bielitsa. 6 on the shot clock. Jones, that's for 2. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And that one falls for Jones.
2 shots.
And so Jones nails both of them. 1:36 left in the fourth quarter. To the paint. The 10-footer. The shot is off. Nice D from Bogut.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Jones with it. Now right defender. The Raptors have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
You're right, so it was a standout performance across the board. They were just at times some toying with.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite
Yeah.
honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And you know, this is a win they wanted badly, guys. They did not want to get swept in the season series.
Most definitely. I mean, even though you see opponents outside of your conference only twice a year, you still don't want to have that feeling of being swept.
Splitter with a screen on Jones. And right, here we go. Splitter misses.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
They get it back. Here's Freak. No good. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team, Clark, by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin. They certainly gave their fans plenty to scream and holler about. This place was rocking. It was on fire. And it only got louder as that lead got bigger.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. But first, the post-game show with Ernie Johnson just a few aisles above us.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Let's take a look now as we give our nod to our Jordan Player of the Game. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make the big plays, and he made them throughout this one.
You know what, Ernie? I must admit it. I didn't see this kind of performance coming from him tonight. He's been coming off a stretch of game where he just looked lost out there.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.